everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ljubljana Talks. We are recording live here at Ljubljana Castle in Ljubljana during the Conventa Crossover. And with Gorazd, we have another exciting guest in front of us, Gerd De Bruycker. Welcome.
Thank you. Very nice to have me.
It is fantastic having you here. And you work with your consultancy NimbleX, right?
Yeah, correct. Actually, honestly, I just recently started. Actually,
okay.
I come really out of the IT sector with all kind of event marketing roles and other roles, let's say, within marketing. Worked 10 years at Microsoft and 15 at Cisco. So it's a new start of a new career. Let's say.
New page, and in a very exciting time. With Gorazd, we've been having quite a lot of conversations that keep revolving around AI. Is AI about to eat us all and take away our jobs?
That's actually maybe the $1 million question on that one. But I look at it, let's say, from a little bit of a different perspective on all of that. So I think when you have moments of change, like we are seeing today, let's say, my experience is really that the people that are embracing the change, actually, these are the most successful leaders in the future and have always been on that one. So I think with AI is exactly the same. I mean, in periods of change, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of resistance. There's anxiety. And we have seen all these kind of articles in the press, like AI will take our jobs and also on that one. That we will need to learn new skills and probably that there will be some new ways of working. I 100% agree around that. But I think, and actually I will talk about it later on as well, is like it will be a revival of craftsmanship as well. And I call it authentic intelligence. You have AI, you have artificial intelligence, but you also have authentic intelligence on that one. And I think we will see a revival of that because I think AI, again, is a tool that will help us and it will change a lot of things, let's say, but it should be a help. And people are in the driver's seat. But you need to embrace it. If you are scared, then maybe AI will come around for you on that one. But if you embrace it and see what it can do for you, like my own experience, it can be a hell of a help in what you do. That's my opinion about it.
Very interesting. But please, Gerd, tell us more a little bit about your consulting company. What are your goals, your ideas? What are you actually doing? So because we know you from the Cisco worlds and so on, big events. But now you are in different roles, so it's good that the audience knows a little bit more about you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. So during my career, I've been, let's say, always actually have had event marketing teams as part of my remit. Now, the last 5 years at Cisco, I've done lots of other marketing roles. I kept the event marketing team, but I also did strategy and planning, customer advocacy, and all kind of. Even actually, I have been 9 months CMO of Cisco EMEA, let's say, as a kind of an interim role on all of that. So. What I really want to do with NimbleX is just help people and companies, let's say, to drive growth through human connections. I'm a very people-centered person, let's say, and I think if businesses want to be successful, you need to put people at the center of what you do. And because honestly, I have my network within the events industry, I'm really trying to help agencies, corporates, let's say, in the event marketing space to drive growth with event strategy, with people, culture, and all. Honestly, I want to help people. I have a lot of, let's say, people in the network that I have a lot of respect and admire, let's say. And if these people are reaching out, I want to have fun. And engage with that and do some fun stuff and all of that. I'm also in a kind of a period in my career. It's like, okay, I've done a lot, I've worked hard and stuff like that. Now I want to have a little bit more fun, enjoy, work with people that are, like I said, respect and admire, and do some funky stuff on that one and contribute to the businesses.
Sounds amazing. I love it, But, how can you personalize and create what you are talking about, that participants are in the center in a mega event as you run so many years, like Cisco event in Barcelona, that's a big animal, How can you create something like that in those mega events?
Yeah, I think what you see is like, okay, events are immensely evolving, like everything around us, right? I mean, that goes from content to kind of the way you set up. But again, I think all our events today, need to be really data-driven. We need to have, let's say, the information about what is our strategy, what is our objective, who is our target audience, and really know that one inside out. And then trying to create an experience actually for them so that they can change their behavior by attending our event, that have an impact on the brand, let's say, on that one. And again, I think what we are seeing is that in the past we had hundreds of sessions at events, let's say. Now it's more about interactivity. The session formats are changing. Actually, the way that the people are building their agenda, there need to be space for networking and all of that. AI and other tools will really need to evolve, let's say, the matchmaking and how you do that. Communities within events, let's say, communities within the big community, so that people can really get out of the event what they want on that one. And again, a lot of the information that is shared, there will be a lot of, let's say, sessions, keynotes and all of that. That information is also available afterwards. But connecting with the people on site and building these connections, that's going to be, let's say, I think the next level for the events as well. That will be successful on that one.
So connections, building relationships, creating the opportunity for more networking. Have you, for your events, used certain technologies or, I don't know, monitors? And how did you
you can
get that knowledge? You said it's all about having the data. How did you collect data about what is happening at an event and how to make it better?
I think the data collection not just starts, let's say, at the event. The data collection starts way before. Events like at Microsoft or at Cisco, and these big mega events, you're basically fishing in your own pool. And the majority of the people that are attending are already your customers. Right? So when they are already your customers, you already have tons of data about them, let's say. And if you are able, from a marketing technology perspective, to connect the dots about all your systems, then you can have, in a certain way, a kind of a swim lane of what your customer is doing, what your person is doing. Which event has that person been attending? Has that person been on your website? Is it following you on LinkedIn and all of that? And with that information, and I think today, together with AI, you can personalize a lot and actually make suggestions to the people like, hey, if you're coming to that event, that could be a great community or a great session or an interactive session for you to do, let's say, on that one. So I think we have hosted buyers at certain events as well. You try to bring people together with the same connection, let's say, or there is a connection point, there's a common point on that one. And and it's facilitating that. It's not easy. Some people come in, let's say at the wedding, they're going to talk to everyone. And other people come in and are shy and will stay there, and after half an hour, maybe they're gone. So how can you help them to do that? Okay, this kind of stuff on that one.
But what do you think about completely tech-free events? Is this a trend or what?
I don't know if it's a trend. I think technology should help the experience on that one. If you want to have a tech-free event, I think there will be tech-free event. That will again put the human connection at the center and all of that. So then you need to do a lot of stuff beforehand, let's say, because technology will help people. But if you go back to that and people know their agenda in advance, some kind of way, and really have true, let's say, human connection. It's a little bit like, for example, in my country, in Belgium, from this school year, actually, mobile phones are forbidden at secondary schools.
It's the same here, huh?
And now, actually, we already see certain things in the media, like children start to learn to play together again. Hey, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Right? Instead of actually sitting all next to each other.
We might see delegates start to play with each other again.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Sounds funny,
But then you have to talk. Now it's easy, let's say, for maybe more introvert people, when you are at an event, you don't know anyone, it's easy to go sit in a corner and take your mobile phone. That's a safe space on that one, because no one can come to you, that person is busy, And now if you don't have that, for example, people maybe can start talk to each other. It could be a long day, right, on that. So, yeah.
I just learned today that there is around 500 plus moderation techniques which we can use at events, but still we're doing boring panel discussions. What can you say about that? Why we are doing so? Since we have so many options,
interesting question. Don't know exactly how I should answer that. I think it also depends a little bit about the panel. Should we have a combination of in a panel that has certain people that are, let's say, pre-assigned to that around a certain topic that they introduce that? But I think we need to have more interaction with the audience. Maybe potentially around certain topics, we can ask people from the audience, hey, come on, do you want to be part of the panel? And all of that in the kind of more smaller group settings as well on that one. So again, I think the panel is just a format for things. But I think it's more about the interactivity. Learn from each other, share experiences, and build on top of that, let's say. That's also why people come to events, to learn from each other there.
I mean, if you give the chance, the more extroverts might take over, you know, in that regard.
Yeah, but that's all. Yeah, I mean, you also need to use techniques. For example, in a company as well, if you have a meeting, a physical meeting or even an online meeting, there are always extroverts and introverts, right? Yeah. I think, I mean, and yes, there is a danger that the extroverts take over, but I think then there's a big task for the meeting leader to give everyone a voice in that one. And that is by simple, like, moderation. It's by simply asking, like, okay, I go around the table, do you agree? Do you, okay, what do you say? What is your opinion? Just by pointing out people, then you give them a voice if they are not, let's say, coming forward themselves.
I mean, this is a topic that, you know, we can, you know, talk about it probably for days, but are there any examples of new concepts, new designs that you've seen, experienced, that you think are kind of the step in the right direction?
And from which kind of perspective?
From the perspective of how to organize an event, to include the audience, to make them more open, to start to play with each other, you know, all that stuff.
Difficult question, I would say, on that one. I think it also depends a little bit on, okay, how eager are the people to interact with each other? So if you have an audience, let's say, of more than 20, 30 people, it's more difficult to engage the audience, I think, because then it's easier to kind of shy away a little bit. So I think if you want to have interactivity, then you need to have smaller groups on that one, where kind of some person is kind of moderating, leading, potentially put a kind of a statement on the table, and then starting discussing like that, but in smaller groups on that one. And that could be done by techniques, by handing the mic through, let's say, so that the extroverts not always take over, but really handing over your mic to another person. Hey, what do you think? And all of that there. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, part of our event here in Slovenia is also competition. You were in many juries, you know, from BEA to other events. So you saw some of the projects here in Slovenia today. What can you say about it? What is the quality of those projects, and how does it feel, you know, to be here in Ljubljana and seeing all these projects?
I mean, I'm honestly positively surprised about the whole setup of the event, how professional it is, the surroundings, the Ljubljana Castle. For me, it's the first time here, the first time at your event and all of that. So I'm positively surprised as a kind of a starting point. Also, your set design, it's kind of a fashion show, kind of on that one, which has challenges as well. And because you see people are coming in front, let's say, and still the people are sitting not, let's say, on the side. So.
Predicted that, yeah.
Okay, but that's how you
experiment.
Exactly on that one. And tomorrow will be interesting to see how speakers will move around, because that's also going to be new for me on that one. But if I look at the, let's say, the pitches that have been done here and the videos on that one, I mean, operational excellence, the execution, that's a given. You see that on that one. That needs to be a given to be kind of a finalist. And then it's about the creative execution, to come up with fantastic ideas. That actually, the creative idea needs to be in connection with actually what is your objective of the event and who is your target audience, and is that, let's say, the good one. I'm going to give an example, if I may. I mean, there was an amazing, let's say, pitch for an event by Deloitte. For Deloitte, let's say. And Deloitte, it's all about strategic consulting, digital transformation, and all of that. And the event was about, let's say, used AI from a creative execution to blow away the people with an experience. Great, right? For me, the question was, what does that mean for that strategic consulting in digital transformation? The only connection point for me was AI. It's not exactly what Ernst & Young is all about. It definitely can help to blow away the people, and it can facilitate some kind of discussions and all of that. But you see, I love to see this kind of connection between that. Again, when I start an event, I always have two questions. Who is my target audience and what are my objectives? And from that, we need to start. That's the strategic planning.
So it's a why, actually.
It's a kind of a why. It's like, okay, what is your strategic planning? Then your, let's say, creative execution to map to that. You need to have your, let's say, operational excellence, because people expect that that's a given. And then you need to have your measurement and ROI. And these are the 4 building blocks of any event in a certain way.
Wow. And what is your definition of transformative event? The one who will really transform the participants, that they will go home, with one big idea.
Innovation can be in anything, can be in a process, or let's say a kind of a big idea on that. But a transformative experience for me is actually when the people go, or sometimes it can be only one person, right? A transformative experience is something that really changes your behavior. And I had a few, and I will explain that tomorrow in my talk. And it can be different for every person on that one. And that can be in a small thing based on personal experience or personal legacy. Let's say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to tell the story how I started in events on that one. And that was, let's say, through another kind of event and someone coming on stage and saying something. And that was for me like, hey, that's my job. I want to do this. And it happens. That's kind of a transfer. So it can be different for different people, let's say. But for a brand, it's about positioning, it's about impact and stuff like that as well. So,
Gerd, we are almost at the end of today's Ljubljana Talks. Thank you very much for coming. But before we finish, we usually ask a couple of short questions, and you can answer them in a short or long way.
Okay.
The mountains or the sea?
Mountains.
Can you explain a little bit more?
I'm more and more a nature person. I'm a runner, I do some trails and stuff like that. I love the nature. So actually I'm staying in Slovenia. Actually I go to Lake Bled, but it's the mountains around it. So it's the combination in a certain way for me.
So then logical questions, walking or running?
For me, it's running these days. Yeah, I'm running marathons these days. So yeah.
Another one is about beer or wine?
I'm coming from a country, Belgium, it's known for the beers, let's say, but I can absolutely appreciate both, that's for sure.
Gerd, thank you very much for coming to Ljubljana Talks, coming to Ljubljana, and enjoy your stay in Ljubljana in Slovenia.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Thank you, and
Good.
see you soon.
See you.